Well, my dear friends, I thought I had missed the boat. I have been looking for this Christmas issue, which is number 8 of 22, since probably the middle of November. And I kept asking at my local news agent, had it come in, and they said no. And I know they don't normally get a lot of copies, and I haven't got round to ordering it, so I get it delivered. Anyway, I was delighted when I was on my way to church this morning, and there it was. So shall we have a look together? Let's see what it's got in store for us. Yeah, this is just like, it is like Christmas. Here we go. So we have a lovely double spread here of a Christmas scene. Now there's so much that you can use here because you've got all these lovely images that you can use separately. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I use the texts quite a lot. But then you could also fussy cut around animals or just use the covers to make up another journal. So there are lots of options. I love this page because it has got so many different images always. So here's a lovely little bird on an orange, very appropriate for winter. We do need to remember to feed our birds. There's another little bird. This would make a lovely tag if I had to cut that, and then I could put something on there. I've just recently uploaded a video actually to use some of these strips from here, and when we get to the recipe page I'll show you. I'm showing you how to make those into a sentiment tag. So that's really nice. Old-fashioned advent calendar, the kind of block format that I used to love playing with as children, those old-fashioned wooden blocks. I'm sure some of you identify with that. Alright. Don't discard pages like this. This page has actually got quite a nice sort of fabric texture to it. So even if you didn't want to use any of the images on here, certainly the textures are really lovely to work with. And look here, you've got a whole lot of gorgeous little stamps that you could make use of instead of having to make them up yourself. There's another little image which I would quite happily make into a stamp. Sorry, these books are always a little bit big for the frame. Lovely musical paper here to actually use, and all these lovely little sort of nutcracker figures that you can actually fussy cut out. Lovely natural elements here, but again textured papers. You've got images of flowers, lovely backgrounds for making up tags and things, and also labels. Some mulled wine. There's quite a lot. I mean, I'd be happy to cut out the image of this little pen, fussy cut that, and some of these other images, just so that I have them when I need them as an embellishment. There's a lovely one that's got an envelope and a pen. So what you could do here would be that you could actually cut a little slit just along those lines, and then another piece of card to go in there with your own kind of journaling card. I think that would work really nicely. And here's another pen. So quite a lot of writing images for these pages. Here are lovely papers for making up this 3D rocking horse, and they slot together, which is actually rather nice. But obviously if you didn't want to actually use them as the rocking horse, you've got all these lovely star images in between, and those kind of pieces cut out would also make wonderful strips for backgrounds for journals, tags, for making faux stamps, for making up a belly band even. Then in the middle there's normally a really big sort of poster size piece of paper. Let's see what this has got. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Okay, I'm going to need to wiggle this around to show you. So we've got a golden poinsettia here, and we've got some baubles and another Christmas bauble. I don't know where I'm going with this magazine. Sorry, I'm going to have to take it off. Okay, so the one thing with these inserts is that they come with precious sensitive tape, and it's a good idea to get this off because it does tend to leave slightly oily marks on your pages. So you'll see here there's a little bit of that, and another one over here. It just rubs off quite easily. It's just a latex base, and comes off quite easy, but I do like to get them off. You've got lovely bows here, lovely little bits of mistletoe, and also lovely textured background. So this is a keeper, whether you wanted to cut this into 4 sort of A4 pages, or whether you wanted to fussy cut the images. They're all rather lovely. Oopsie, I'm knocking everything over. And this bauble here would be lovely to actually colour in as well. Okay, loads of options here. This is the kind of greasy mark that I'm just warning about. new cutting. Sorry, I've been doing some projects with soda cans and I've just knocked over some that I've been given, so let me get those out the way. Right, there's always interesting articles, and here again is another little brush image which you could fussy cut out and use later. There's little tags here that would be really suitable for cutting out, and you could put your own piece of ribbon in. Look at this lovely piece of cross stitch and all the lovely little bird images that you have. Can you see that? Oh goodness, can you see that? Yeah, there we go. Lovely little birds. You've got your poinsettias, lots of things with reds, so there's plenty to work on a theme. And look at these lovely little cats. I just love cats. I miss having one. Oh my word, here's another little one with his hat on. How gorgeous is that? And some more of this cross stitch. Funny, we go through phases with embroideries and things, don't we? We either love it or we hate it. It's either in or it's out. Oh, here's another bird image. So you remember in the first few pages I showed you the picture of the bird on the orange, and then you've got all of these that you could actually tie together apart from the mouth-watering recipes that are included. Nice little articles here about making little baby dolls. Quite a nice little thing for a stocking filler if you wanted to do a simplified version of that. Really cute. But I think making these little faces are really a lot of effort. These I would cut out and maybe make into faux stamps, and you could always stamp things on, and you could also use these little present images for faux stamps. You've got lovely stars you could cut out here. There's a little envelope you could cut out. I think just every page just has masses that you can use. So again, here with the advent calendar, you could either use it as a whole or you could cut out individual blocks and reuse them. This page is for you to do the outlines on. They call it reverse colouring. Oh, I'm sorry, skipped a page. Oh wow, look at these lovely little watercolour animals. This lovely little cat and the dog. Let me get him in focus, and the little mouse, little skating mouse. Can you see that one? And the little rooster, and then the flowers. And these lovely, lovely sort of wintry papers and these sort of plants with all the frost on. And here's some more. So we've got a nice little, I don't know what that would be. I'm not familiar with that bird, but a little mouse here, a little squirrel, a duck, a little frog, and these lovely little thistles in the corner. They're lovely till you've got to pull them out, then they really sting. I've been working with my trainees clearing an area behind polytunnels, and oh my word, the thistles are the bane of our life, and next comes the nettles. Okay, lovely images of these pine cones with the mistletoe there. Really beautiful for fussy cutting out. You've got 3 of those there, so you could certainly make use of those in a journal. Little cardboard 3D thing. I think you can actually order this as a tree decoration. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so this page you probably may or may not be able to do something with, other than fussy cut out some of these berries that are here in the corner. And there's a few more up here. But these strips I always cut and keep because they've got lovely background colours. That's got a lovely background colour like that, and I'll find a use for those. Faux stamps, tickets, sentiment labels, tags. You've got lots of it. Don't throw it away. I did another video a while ago on how many things I could get out of just a double spread page, and there were already some cutouts, and it was amazing if you start punching out things just how much you can actually get, and often it's just a small amount of color that you're looking for, so to buy a card doesn't necessarily warrant the price. These kind of things with numbers on, I don't know why, but I tear those out as I do the ones in the front of the book. Let me get to that shopping page. Here I tend to take out these numbers and these kind of words, and I find that those are very useful. Okay, that's the flower arranging. Lovely borders here that you could use, and a nice image. Yeah, plenty here. Lovely projects to do as well with your family for Christmas. So if you were doing a Christmas journal, there's plenty to fill up the pages. You've got all your lovely glass blown ornaments, you've got handmade decorations, you've got all of these little musicians which are so sweet. You can see those nicely. Some recipes. They always have one or two of these strips with all the recipe things, so if you need to collect those over a few issues, you've got them. Or I suppose for your own use you could make a photocopy of them and colour them in. Lovely Christmas garlands to use. Very good things to have. Plenty of that too. Gorgeous little angel here. And some sheet music, which is really just a nice addition to anything. Don't know if I'm up for that, swimming in a New Year's Day in the icy waters of the Atlantic, but to each his own. Brave souls. Plenty of stars in the background of these papers, so lovely things, lovely vintage forks and knives and spoons. Those I would make good use of. Again, going back to the numbers, here's a nice big number 10. I would make use of that. Lovely round shapes, so I could see that as a disc with something on the back of it just to cut the shape out. I mean, you wouldn't get all of the shapes, but you'd be able to use some of them, and plenty here that you could fussy cut. Gosh, isn't this just a treasure trove? Some lovely little stickers. There's always a page of these in Daphne's diary. And very simple gift packaging, which I just love. Lovely little nutcrackers, so you've certainly got a wealth of those. And I know the time is marching on and everybody's getting busy, but cut them out and keep them. You can start building your Christmas journals for next year in the middle of the year when you have more time. Here's another little bird with some orange. And this is a lovely background to use as well. So you could actually superimpose on this a plain piece of red card and make a journal card out of that. Same goes there. And then you've got this checkerboard. This reminds me of the back of baking paper. That would be quite fun. And then you've got, look at these lovely colours all the way around, lovely patterns that you could actually make use of, and just some line drawings, or fussy cut some of those images. More little dolls and things being made. Let me just get this over a bit. Yeah, look at that, a lovely big piece of textured paper that you could make use of. And if you are doing sewing journals, look at these. You've got threads and little scissors and needles. Gorgeous. Now these are what I was referring to in my video that I did recently. All these little recipe cards, they pop out, and then you're left with double-sided background paper, and I would normally just cut those into strips the length and have 2 or 3 little shorter ones, and I'd make use of them. This is another example where there is a pop-out. This one is for this little angel. It gets made up like that. But then you've got all this gorgeous background paper that you can make use of. Use your dies to cut things out. I've got a die that just cuts out strips for borders, and I often put it on these Daphne's diary pages, and it just makes them so interesting. I love the little gold dots. Right. Oopsie. Lovely little cup with candles, yeah. Reminds you of all those sort of odd cups you see in the charity shops. What a good way to make use of them. I used to teach candle making back home in South Africa. It was always a joy, but we never had enough time to explore too many different options other than the basics because of time. Okay, so here's a nice idea for Advent, just using twigs to create a focal point above your table. Again, referring to the antique crockery and cutlery. Got lovely plates and the knives and forks. Here's another little spoon, which is great. There's a pair of little ice skating boots even, which is great. Oh, let's just find the differences. Okay. Right, so here we've got lovely mistletoe. We've got really cute little scenes here that you fussy cut out. You could use those as tags quite easily. Journaling cards, you could do this as a page insert because that's easily divisible into 2, so you could use as page insert. But on the other side, if you wanted to, there would be a slightly large postcards. So you would have 2 of those. Little gift box that you can punch out, and again I referred back to this lovely textured look on the papers, or you've got a plain one. Here is something to write labels with, and again it seems to have sticky stuff which we get off quite quickly. Not very much of it, but as I say, you just rub it off with your fingers and it comes off quite easily. And there you've got a whole lot of labels for writing on your card. I'm not sure if these are, well, they're probably self-adhesive. Little gingerbread village. Funny, it's something I've always wanted to do but never quite got there, and I see now that I'm in the UK that we can actually get kits for this, so I might have a go at a mini one this year. I love this colour blue around here. This is what I would call my bubble colour. A happy place to go if you want to be in a quiet, calm place with that kind of blue as me. Yeah, so here we've got some advertising materials, but in it you've got lots of colours and things that you could actually use. Some more Christmas images, and don't throw the text away. They make lovely blocks for the back of journaling cards. You can stamp over them. You could superimpose little nutcrackers or the little cars and have a plain journaling card on the other side. And then you've got your freebie sheets of paper, which are all really done for Christmas, so they've all got bits of gold or stars and things like that. But they're not so overly Christmassy that you wouldn't be able to use them at other times of the year. Lovely little books that you can think about, and I love cutting out those little images. Look at this little girl, so sweet, sitting on her chair. I wish we read more with our kids. And then lovely covers that you can use again. So if we were to open the whole cover out, that's what it would look like. And I know quite often we can actually just take these, fold them in half. And as I've told you many times before, when I've done flip throughs, I always separate all my pages. I'm left with the covers only, and then I decide what I'm going to do so I can pull things out as I need them. Well, this has just been a joy to be able to share this flip through with you. I do hope that you have an opportunity to be able to buy one of these magazines, and that you will be able to spend some time doing something creative before you get too busy at Christmas. So sending love and greetings to you. Bye for now.